Well, I got one passed out pussycat right here. Good day to be indoors. Good day to be grateful for a roof over my head. Welcome back. I'm always searching for the strongest, spiciest topics that I can think of because I think we're interesting people. And one of the most interesting topics I think is I'm just going to read you a line from a world scripture real quick. I asked AI a question. I said, where did Jesus say, the works that I do, you shall do these works and greater still? That's what came into my mind is what was said. And then AI said, here's some common English translations. And I'll just go with the King James Version, and then that will be sufficient for today's conversation. Verily, the word verily in and of itself is a topic of conversation. But Jesus said to his disciples, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, he shall do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. Now, am I a Christian preacher? Obviously not. But I like spiritual discourse, and I think a great spiritual question, I typically start with a question, and the question is, do you think it's more spiritual to live with a problem for a long period of time, or do you think it's more spiritual to be able to just heal it? Which do you think is more spiritual? Now, I could make an argument that to be long suffering, so to speak, there's a Christian word for it, resignation. Resignation used to be seen as a virtue. My problems, they're given to me by God, and I will live with them in good cheer and in good spirit, no matter how beaten down I am by these difficulties. And so that was resignation, and resignation for a very long time was seen as a virtue. Now, my favorite spiritual author says that resignation is a sin. It's actually a sin to be resigned to thinking that it's God's will for us to suffer for a long time. And don't we have examples of great spiritual masters, not just Jesus, of doing healing and miracles upon people? So, with that in mind, the question is, would you like to learn how to heal more quickly? Why is it that we don't march about the planet and heal everywhere that we go, laying on of hands? And when we see somebody who's ill or sick or sad or depressed, why is it that we can't heal them instantly? Why is it that we can't, quote unquote, bring them back to life? Now, in the story there, did Jesus' disciples go out into the world and perform healings? They did. This is what the scriptures say in Acts and other places, is that they healed the lepers and did great miracles. So what is it about us mortals 20 centuries later that are either able to heal or are flummoxed by problems? And isn't it quite true that many good religious people can't solve a single damn problem in their life? They read the scriptures all day long and they run into a problem and they live with it their whole life, whatever that might be. And so you could see how a materialist, an atheist, would actually make fun of us spiritual or religious people, because when our dryer breaks down, we start praying over it and beg God to heal it. And if God won't heal our dryer, then we are resigned to the problem and we have to put up with it by hanging our clothes out in the yard. But the materialist says, screw you. I know exactly what needs to be fixed, and I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it instantly. This is the topic for the week, but I don't want to leave us hanging on the edge here at the start. When it comes to healing instantly, I would like to relate the greatest healing tool that I've ever heard of in my life. And I think when we get good at this tool, the time frame of healing is truncated. In other words, a lot of people that were healed by spiritual masters instantly, they were going to heal from it sooner or later anyway, even when they died. The leper, sooner or later, they trade their body in for another one. What was fascinating about a great miracle is the instantaneous nature within which it happens. It's something that takes 10 years, takes 1 minute to heal. Now, I will make a personal claim where I've actually seen this in action. This is just from my own experience. I've seen people who are addicted to alcohol and drugs walk into a room of recovery after not taking a sober breath for 10 or 15 years and stop in one day. Now, is that a miracle? You could define it as such, but that's the strongest miracle that I've ever seen tangibly in front of my own eyes. Now, I bet you have your example in your life where you've seen something of great dilemma and difficulty healed instantly. What could that be other than the love and the immediate power of God going to work instantaneously? Why can't we do it all the time? Good question. But my favorite spiritual author says the greatest of all spiritual tools is called the golden key. When we're mired in a problem that has us squished and squashed, when we're mired in a difficulty or dilemma that's too much and we can't heal it, then what we simply do is we do something called the golden key. The golden key is made to be so simple that we cannot forget it. And while it's simple, it's almost insanely difficult to put it into practice. And here it is, and it should be said in the fewest words possible. Instead of thinking about the problem, think about God. Instead of ruminating on the trouble, think about God, love source, infinite higher organizing power, and that power instead. And the degree to which we can do that is the degree to which we can look at any problem we're facing or any problem anyone else is facing, and we can heal it instantly. And as we get better at the golden key, we're going to do what that scripture says. The works that the great ones do, we shall do those works, and even works greater yet. And I really like this topic this week because I run into a problem and I'd like to heal it more quickly. See you all tomorrow.